Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at construction in CXC. Alright, now before we get into the construction questions, we're going to start by constructing a few basic and important angles. And we're going to start by constructing 60-degree angle. Now what do I need to do a construction? I need my ruler and I'm going to need my compass. Alright, so we're going to start with a 60-degree angle. Now, for information purposes, please remember that construction lines are supposed to be pale. For my pale lines, I'm going to be using yellow. So whenever you see yellow, it means that those lines are pale and they're also my construction line. Alright? And I'm going to be using red for my actual lines. Alright? So this is my actual lines. So whenever you see me construct a line in yellow or an arc in yellow, it means that that should be pale. It's your construction line. In red, that's my actual line. Alright, now to go for the 60-degree angle, the first thing I'm going to start by doing is simply drawing a baseline. So I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to draw a line. Alright, I don't require a specific length at the moment. I just need to draw a line right there. Now, once I've drawn the line, I'm going to go for my compass. And I'm going to put my compass point right at the start of the line. Alright? Reduce the size a bit here. So I'm going to put my compass point right at the start of the line right there. Good. Now my arc is going to be a part of my construction line. And so I'm going to make my arc as pale as possible. So I'm going to go right ahead, I'm going to touch the yellow line and I'm going to swing an arc. Alright, follow me carefully. Now remember now this is my construction line and that is why it's going to be pale. So I'm going to swing an arc that goes right around. That should be a pale line. Cool? My red line would be a bright line. Now look at where this arc cuts the baseline that I drew. Cuts it right here. That is where I'm going to put my compass point now. Right there. Okay, and I'm going to be swinging my compass point from around there. Now we have to ensure that our compass point is exactly at the location, because if it's off by even a small amount, then the angle might be incorrect. Remember, this is construction now. We're constructing exact values, so we can't afford to make any mistakes. Alright, so I'm going to swing my arc now. Now notice I didn't adjust my compass, I leave it as it is. I didn't readjust the compass, I leave it open as it is. Alright, now I'm going to swing an arc. Remember, this is going to be a construction line again, so it's going to be pale. That cuts my first arc. Notice where the two arcs intersect. Now, once I have that, now I'm going to go for my ruler. And of course, I'm going to draw a straight line right from the start of the line. And I don't want to mess that up, because I need to get it as accurate as possible. Right to the point. So, right through the point where the arcs intersect. Alright. Let's make sure we have that lined up. And remember again what I said. You need to get this as accurate as possible. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a straight line from this point here. Straight through. Of course, this is going to be my bright line. Of course, I'm going to be using my red line. Just so we're on point there. I'm going to be using my red line. Control Z. Now I need to ensure that it's right along my ruler. Alright, let me make sure I have this correct. Okay. Now let me remove the ruler. Alright. Now notice right here, well, I'm doing it on the computer screen, so I haven't gotten as perfect as I would want. But I have to ensure that it starts right here. I don't have any confusion. I have one single point. Now this angle now will actually be a 60-degree angle. I'm going to put it in right here. Now, points to note. Notice that my red lines would be these. Those are my construction line. If you're practicing, what you can now do is to go for your protractor and to put it right there on the mark, right where your point is, and to measure the angle, which should be exactly. Notice my outer layer starts from 0. You have to start from the 0 mark. So I'm using the outer angle, since I'm using the baseline as my reference. Now notice when I go right around, this is dead on 60 degrees. That is what the thing should look like. That is a 60-degree angle. Alright? Now, once you have the 60, we'll do what is called a bisection of the 60 degree to get my 30 degree. But just to make sure you understand the process, I'm going to do the 30 degree from scratch. Because once I'm doing a 30 degree, I don't actually need this bright line here. That would give me a 60. I would be bisecting this angle. And all angles are bisected the same way. By the word bisect, bisect means we cut it in two. So that's how we get a 30 degree, by bisecting a 60 degree. So I'm just going to take this down. And I'm going to push my tools down as well that I'm going to be using. Let me carry them down. And let me push this up. Here we go. Carry these tools down. Alright, so I'm going back for my ruler again. And I'm going to be drawing my baseline. So here we go. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to draw my baseline here. Once again, it doesn't matter how long it is. I'm not going for a particular length as yet because I'm simply doing the basic construction now. Good, so that's my line right there. Okay, so let me remove that now. Now I'm going to go for my compass, which is down here. I'm going to go for this. And I'm going to carry my compass up here. Alright, since I'm going to be swinging the arc from down here, let me put it down there. And I want my compass point to be right dead on at the point that starts the line. Now, of course, I'm going to be swinging an arc, which represents my construction line. So I'm going to be changing to yellow. So here we go. We're going to swing an arc that cuts this line right here. Alright, let me carry it around a little more. There we go. Now notice that I'm not adjusting this thing. I'm keeping it as it is. I'm simply going to move it to where this arc intersects my board line right there. Dead on the point. I want it exactly there. And I'm going to swing the next arc that cuts this one. There we go. Now notice I've not adjusted my compass. I leave it as it is. Now, in fact, let me swing this all the way around to make my life easier. So I'm going to swing an arc all the way around there. Very good. Now, why did I swing that arc all the way around there? I'm going to be bisecting the angle. Now, notice if I draw this line right now, I'm going to end up with a 60 degree. But I don't want a 60 degree. Alright? I want a 30 degree, which is a half. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put this compass point right here. Let me turn this around. Right here where these two lines intersect, these two arcs intersect to give me the 60. I'm going to put it dead in the center right there. Alright? I'm going to carry it from down here. And I'm going to swing an arc cutting this line right here. There we go. Alright? Now, once I draw a straight line through this intersection now, that is going to give me my 30 degrees. So I hope you notice what we did there. So I'm going to come back now to get my ruler. Alright, and of course, since it's going to be my main line, I'm going from a bold line now. So here we go. I want to ensure that these points line up as perfectly as possible. Let's see. Right, there we go. I need this to go up a little bit more. So I have it exactly at the point. Remember, that is what this is about. We don't want any errors. So we're trying to make it as exact as possible. Now I'm going to go back to my red line. And I'm going to draw this line right here from right here. Going all the way. Right through the center there. There we go. Now I can remove my ruler. And this angle right here should be a 30 degree angle. Alright, if you doubt it, once you're practicing, you put your protractor up there, alright, and the line to measure it, just to make sure it's, let me go back for my protractor. So you put your protractor up there, just to make sure that you're on point. Whoa. Get my protractor over here. Come on, protractor. So you're going to actually be putting your protractor out there just to make sure it's correct, to measure that angle right there, right? And it should be 30 once you measure it. Now, I could even go further into constructing a 15 degree angle, because all I would have to do is to bisect the 30 degree, right? So I would put the compass point here, swing an arc. Let me just do it for reference sake. because we're going to show you how easy it is to actually bisect an angle. So you have your compass here. You put the compass point right there. Alright, let me make this a bit smaller. Now what I'm going for is 15. Alright, so let me carry this down a bit and extend it, because you want, when you swing the arcs, the two of them intersect, right? So let me put this in yellow as it is my construction line. So here we go. So I would swing an arc right here. Down here where we have this arc cutting this line, I would put the compass point down there as well, right on that mark, and I would swing an arc that cuts that line. Good. Now when I draw a straight line from the point here right through this, that would be 15, and I can keep going bisecting and bisecting and bisecting just to get the conceptual idea behind it. Also, since I'm doing this as well, I could show you the 120 degrees. Now of course, doing a 120 degrees, really and truly, you can do 60 on one side, the other side will automatically be 120 degrees if you want. So for example, up here, what I could do is that I have 60 around here, I could extend this line right here, and around here would be 120, since angles at a point add up to 180 degrees. I could do that. Alright, if I do not want to do that, and I'm going to go to a new page now to show you how you could actually get it from scratch. What if you don't want to do that? Alright, I could go right ahead with my baseline. Remember, use your ruler to draw your baseline. Right? And since it's going to be a part of my actual line, I'm going to draw that in bold. There you go. Now remember, your ruler would be drawing this line here. I'm just doing it like this to go as quickly as possible. Alright, here we go now. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the compass point right here. Remember, let me put this in there. We're going for 120 degrees now. I'm going to put my compass point in there, and I'm going to move my compass point to the start of the line right there. Get it right on point, alright? Carry this down here so I can swing the arc, and I'm going to swing an arc going right around like that. Good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my compass point without adjusting the compass. I'm going to put it right here, and let me carry it around here. Good. Now I want to make sure it's right on point so I don't miss, so I ensure it's there. Now I'm going to swing an arc without adjusting the compass. I'm going to swing an arc here, cutting that line. Now if I draw a line from here straight through this intersection here, that would be 60, but I don't want 60. So I'm going to put the compass point right where these two arcs intersect. Right there, dead in the spot. And I'm going to swing an arc again, cutting the arc that I had before. Now I have a 120, because what I have here is a combination of two. Alright, so I'll put it back there. What I have here is a combination of 60 and 60, and of course 60 plus 60 is 120. So what you do is that this intersection over here, you line it up using a ruler with this point here, and you would actually draw a straight line right through. So let me go ahead and do it. Now of course I'm going to be putting this in bold line because it's a part of my diagram. So it will go right through the intersection right there. Alright. Now of course, remember now, you can always go for your protractor to measure this just to verify that you actually have it as 120 degrees. Not a degree more, not a degree less, 120 degrees. I hope we're comfortable with that. Now let's take it a little bit further, and we're going to move on to, let me carry down this there, let me carry down my compass here. Come down with me, and we're going to be moving on to the 90 degree. Now, there's a whole lot of different ways that persons can construct a 90 degree angle. Really comes down to what you want to do. Alright? So, let me go ahead with what I think would be the quickest and easiest way. Alright? So, it's not about complexity. Now, I'm going to go for my ruler now. Let me put that on the page right here. Now, to get my 90 degree, the method I'm going to use here is that I'm going to go for my bright line. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw my bright line, which is my major line, up to a certain point. Let's say I stop it right there. And then I'm going to extend it using my construction line. Alright, so I go back right there where I stop it, and I extend and I extend it. Now, of course, what you're going to do is that you're going to mark it off. So probably you have a tick there, so you have A, you have B here. Now, of course, AB is your major line. The extension is just a part of your construction because you're going to be using it. Good. Now I'm going to readjust my compass because I'm going to be putting the compass point right here where I have A, and I want to swing a semicircle that cuts both my construction line, which is the yellow line, and also my main line, which is my red line. So let me go ahead and put it right there. Alright, so this is my compass. I'm going to be putting the compass point here. I don't want it too big because I need it to cut both lines, right? So I'm going to reduce the compass. Alright. Now I'm going to swing my arc. So let me bring it all the way around here. I'm going to swing my arc going right around. Good. That is me. Good. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be, where the arc cuts both lines, I'm going to be putting my compass point there, and I'm going to be swinging an arc above that should intersect. Now because I want to ensure that these two arcs that I swing intersect, I could extend my compass, alright? So I don't go wrong. So let me bring it all the way around here. I'm going to bring it to this point right here where the arc intersects the line. And of course, remember we're going to be swinging two arcs up here. And we want to ensure that those two arcs intersect. Hence the reason I extended this. So let me go right ahead. Swing my arc up there. That's one of them. I'm now going to move this to right over here. Let me readjust it. Now, of course, remember when you swing the first arc, you cannot touch the compass any at all. You can't adjust it. Alright, there we go. So these two arcs intersect, right? Now, of course, you already have an idea what a 90-degree angle look like because you know it's going to be a straight line going up. So I don't have to swing the arc as big as even as how I have it. Now I'm going to go for my ruler. Alright, the ruler takes a little time when I'm using this, so I just use my straight line. But you're going to use your ruler to line up this point at A with the intersection of these 2 points up here. Now, as I'm saying, this is only one of the methods to do it. You don't have to do it by this method. Alright? I consider this method to be quick and easy, so that's why I do it here. So you're going to be drawing a straight line from right here. Wait, well, no, this is my major line, so I'm going to be using red. Right up. Alright, and should go right through the intersection. Now this now should be a 90-degree angle. And we use our little box here. Now, the good thing about it is that when you have a 90-degree angle, if you want a 45-degree angle, the word that comes into play now, you should know, would be what? Bisect. So I bisect a 90-degree angle to get a 45-degree angle. Now, I'm going to be using this nice little circle here to bisect it. Of course, if I'm going to be doing a 45-degree angle, this red line here would be pale because it would be a construction line. So, let me go ahead and take it out. I could erase it. But just remember that if you're going 45, this would be pale, right? So what you're going to do is that you're simply going to find the points, and of course all bisection are done the same way. Find the points where this arc, this major arc, cuts the red line up there and this line down here, and you're going to be putting your compass point right there. So right here. Alright, and I could even do a little reduction. I don't need that much compass point. Let me bring it around here. I know 45 is going to be halfway, so that's why I don't have to draw my arcs all over the place, right? So I'm going to swing an arc here. Alright, and I'm going to move this now, put it where. Now remember, you do not adjust the compass, that's important, where it cuts that line right there, dead on. And you're going to swing the next arc like that. Now my 45-degree, once I draw the straight line from the center here, right to where those two arcs intersect, I'm going to automatically end up with a 45-degree. You're going to use your ruler to get right in the middle. Alright, so mine missed the middle a little bit. but it should be spot on, right dead on in the middle, because you don't want to mess that up. If you mess that up, a lot of things gonna be off as you go further out, right? So it might look like a small error there, but believe me, if you draw an extended diagram, the other angles will be off completely. So this is just part one of the video on how we construct the angles. I'll be showing you now how you can use these angles to construct other things in my next video.